first came into Ripple, what was your biggest struggle?
I think it was really the main reason I entered because of is wanting to build like relationships and a support net of people. And because I was going through a divorce and it was very, very hard. And I think the struggle too was that I'd been a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, and I had to find work and a home and all of that for my kids. And so I was really scared about how to do that and figure out how to make a living and support my family, because I felt like my ex-husband was really unstable and I didn't know where to go, and I had no family, hardly any friends. I'd only been here 3 months when I left my husband, so I didn't really have any kind of support net. So I just really needed people to help me get through it because my family wasn't around. So I think that was my biggest struggle, was just finding resources and people that I could rely on.
When were you in a shelter?
I was in a shelter in 2019, right around Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. It was November 21st because my brother's birthday. I left and I went to Safe Harbor for 3 days, and I'll tell you, it was the most terrifying experience of my entire life. I took my 4 kids with me. I left during the middle of the day and I grabbed them from school and we went. It was in Greenville.
So what are your biggest struggles right now?
I think the biggest one is parenting with the kids, because I've had a lot of troubles with the kids, and also just working through some of my own struggles now that I've kind of got all the housing and all that secured. It's really starting to dig deep and unravel all the emotional stuff that I just kind of put in a closet and didn't deal with, in trying to become an emotionally stable person for my kids.
Are you able to save money every month?
I do have a savings that, I wish it was more, but I feel comfortable with what I have savings. I actually worry about money less now than I did when I was married, just because I have like a support group that if something goes wrong, they'll be like, hey, and I've set up, because honestly in my marriage, we didn't have a savings. So after I left, when I sold the house and I got a chunk of money, which was supposed to be my alimony, I was like, great, I have this savings and I have control over how it's spent. And I feel like I've spent the money that I've had to responsibly, but I've had people around me to say, yes, that's a good thing to spend money on, or no, it's not. Whereas before I just had like this authority saying, you have to do this, you have to do that. So now it's like I have a choice, but I also have people around me to say, yeah, that's a good investment, or that's not. And like, that's been really nice, because I haven't felt really confident in any of my abilities. So being able to excel in a job that manages money, being able to excel in really managing my own has helped. We had no savings. So yeah, it was just like month to month. So, and I still have money left from selling the house. So, I never expected to be that much. Somebody, when Megan first said, she said that some people are able to graduate with, like a 5-figure thing. I was like, wow, wouldn't that be great? I had $10,000 in legal fees and they're all paid off. So
you did that in Ripple?
Yes, while I was in Ripple.
Right, that was what we started with.
And I reduced my credit card debt, which my credit card debt was 5 figures and now it's 4. So I've reduced it in over half. Every time I start to struggle, I look at, okay, where was I a year ago? And this time last year, I'd just gotten into my house, but starting out, never even think I'd be able to buy a house. I had to work really hard to get there. So the fact that I have a house for my kids, it's still like, gets me really overwhelmed. Like, that's amazing. I have to remember, like, that's amazing. But my goal is to grow my business. The whole point of me getting my CPA is I'm going for nonprofit accounting. Because with my business, I want to help nonprofits, because my eventual goal is to have a brick and mortar business where I can offer job positions to people in my position, like other moms, and do on-the-job training to teach them how to do what I do, because it's such a great job, because it's so flexible and you can make a good amount of money in it. Like, you can support yourself. And when I was in that shelter for 3 days, and it was only 3 days, seeing all those other women there and realizing how hard it is for them to find housing and a job so they can get out of their situations is awful. I've ran into privilege. That's the only time I've ever felt that I realized how privileged I am to have the resources that I do. So my hope is I can get through this program to give back, and I'm hoping that I can grow my business so I can give back to other people like me, so I can help somebody out. If I can help one person,
Do you want to say anything to your sponsors that hopefully you'll meet one day?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just so grateful. I mean, you can't really say, can't put into words how grateful, for all of us. Because I don't know where I would be otherwise. I don't know if I'd have my children because I had to fight so hard. And he had money and I didn't. So to have that and to know that if anything happens, to have that cushion so that you can take care of your family till you find out what's going to happen next. It means so much because my kids mean so much. I don't do any of this but for them. So it's going to help pave the way for them in the future. So, I mean, you can't put words on the gratitude that someone feels. Like, you feel indebted, you feel that someday you hope you can give back the way that somebody's given to you. It just means a lot.